venture capital is collaborative. We need good entrepreneurs, we need good investors, and we need good fund managers. And I think the showing today shows that at least we are doing something right at every year. Just going back to cover some of the themes that were discussed today. FinTech, huge, very important market. Easy to disrupt a market where the customers hate their provider, as Joe said. Also, FinTech is very interesting, very important for the region. It's a sector we can protect because it's regulated. So we can really build local champions. Also, we have to think about the environment. We can make very good returns, very good IRRs, but if the earth is dead, we won't have time to enjoy it, we won't have a place to enjoy it. So hopefully we'll start looking a bit more about the environmental factors. These have not really showed up on our shores yet, but global warming is global and it will soon be here. A couple of themes that are important for the region, and then I'll talk about the issues that we are facing, and I'll close with talking about the exits. So we've proven, we and some of our colleagues in the venture capital industry, that we can build local champions, and this is very important. A local champion will command high valuation, it will exit first. This is very important. Now, why can we build a local champion? Because we have very valuable consumers. We have some of the most valuable consumers in the world. I believe that the addressable market, at least in luxury and on streaming in MENA, is larger than India. How many people in India can pay $10 per month subscription? Not many. So we have very, very valuable consumers. They're also very modern, very connected, they speak English. I mean, we emerged in the Middle East in the early 70s. About 20 years before India and China. It is our time now to actually benefit from this demand. And we also see the demand on the B2B side. We have also sophisticated, very rich businesses that need services. Now this takes me to what we call the gap. We have a digital gap in the region between demand. We have very mature needs, both consumers and businesses, but we don't have enough supply of digital services. Some of the global providers do a good job, but we need local champions. So there is demand. We need better supply. Now, to be able to develop better supply, we need a couple other things. We need talent. I think we have very good ideas in the region. We don't have enough engineers. So we can start with the ideas, but implementation is difficult. I mean, just as my colleague from Shedwood mentioned, to develop their business, they actually had to look at talent in Poland, acquire actually a company, to be able to control their technology and control their destiny. So we have to work on that. The other component is capital. Let me just give you just an anecdotal number. Karim has been in the market for the last maybe 6 months, raising a $400 million round. If you take the combined capital in the 3 largest VC firms in the region, we don't manage $400 million. So we now have local champions that we use every day, whether it's Sue, it's Karim, it's Fetcher, Rabih, there is not enough capital to fund the round here in the region. So we have also a capital gap. Okay, this is very important. Now, let's talk about exits. Every ecosystem in the world, whether it's Latin America, India, China, exits have always come late. We have one problem in the Middle East, is that even though we're 400 million people with mostly the same history, same language, same religion, we're 23 countries. It's very difficult to scale in the region. Where do you start? You start in the UAE, you start in Saudi Arabia. Egypt's a huge market. The Levant, on some metrics, have some of the highest consumption bases in the region. So this is also important. Our market is a bit difficult to address. Now, what we've done at MEVP and some of our colleagues in the industry is we always build regional platforms. We want to all our companies have to be present in the key markets in the region. Why? Because for entrants who are going to come and acquire, which is mostly our exit avenue, they have to look at the build versus buy. Do you want to build? I mean, I don't take this personally, but how difficult is it even now in Saudi Arabia to get work permits and build? Very difficult. Our companies offer these global entrants, whether they're from China, from the US, regional, mature platforms, digital platforms. private equity has failed in the region because in the real world, it's difficult to create regional platforms. We deal with digital goods and services. We can very quickly build a regional channel. So, the buy and build scenario for the entrance is key for our exits. And this is something that we're very conscious about at MEVP. Always build a regional champion, try to be first in that vertical. We don't need regional champions in every vertical, but we've identified the ones that we think can create value. And then the exits will come. When Amazon bought Souq, you think Amazon looked at anybody else except the number one player in e-commerce? I don't think so. So in this journey where we have good entrepreneurs, capital is getting better, talent is getting better, exits will come. One of the key things we're missing in the region is a go-to IPO market. I mean, the UAE has 2 exchanges. Also, the regulation to IPO, especially for young companies like our companies, that technically have negative net worth because of regulation of losses, is impossible. However, in private equity, most exits are not public listings. That's probably 10–15% of exits. We hear about them because these are public deals. We hear about them. Most deals are trade sales, secondary sales. And this is what we're going to focus at MEVP on. Creating regional platforms, regional champions, and then the exit will come. We have a lot of friends from China. China has been looking at the region very strongly, especially with the shift in how we trade our oil. Most of our oil now is not sold in Europe, not sold in the US. It's sold in China, in Korea, and Japan. And this is eventually going to be our exit avenue, I believe. In addition, and as we've seen, for example, the Amar buying initially controlling stake in Namshi, and then recently just buying the whole thing, regional champions who are getting disrupted are starting to acquire. So I hope you'll give us a chance, stay with us in this journey, and hopefully we'll exit all together at decent IRRs. Thank you for joining us. This is a pleasure to have you.